All right. Welcome those watching outside of Discord. We will be doing an Alpha Sharks overview today. We'll be letting some people jump right in here and we'll end up getting started. Let's actually jump right into it. Can people type in the chat and let me know if you can see my screen first of all? It should be on the trending page. You guys can give me like a thumbs up or A-OK. That would be awesome. Glitch. Okay, we can see it. Cool. Awesome. All right. Arc. Awesome. Appreciate that. So one of the first things, again, most people, if you've been here before, it's kind of almost religious at this point. One of the main things I like to come in here and do is go immediately to the training page. I like to go on the 24-hour time frame just to see, again, what's quote-unquote normal for the day. So right here, whenever we toggle the 24-hour time frame, this is calculating our data across, obviously, 24 hours. One main metric that we do like to utilize is going to be our volume. This is going to be huge because this is going to tell us the true demand for the day. Is triple-digit ETH normal for the day? Is double-digit ETH normal for the day? We really have to kind of figure that out because we want to know, are we in a zone where there's major demand, or are we in a zone where there's not major demand? So let's kind of break down the first two. We can see we have triple-digit ETH volume, so 132 ETH and 128 ETH volume traded on both of these projects sitting up here. But notice the one right beneath it has 17 ETH volume, and right below that 14 ETH volume. We can see that the bottom two are not going to have as much demand as we're actually going to have from the top two. So that's telling me that these top two projects are in more demand for the day as opposed to the bottom two projects that we're looking at. So going down, this one kind of pops out here. 605 ETH volume traded. This is blowing out every single volume ETH traded in this whole column. So this is definitely something we want to be looking at. This should be sticking out to us because this is double. This is actually 6 times the amount of volume traded from the top two projects here. So this is something we definitely have to be taking into account. Another thing that we should also be noticing is the unique holder count. That's actually highlighted green, saying that we have 80% unique holders with this actual project. And that's actually a very key number that we want to be looking at over time. We definitely want to take a look at that if that's going to be one of the projects that we see on the smaller time frames as well. So 605 ETH is a lot of ETH traded. So anything with triple-digit ETH volume, we're definitely going to want to take a look at. So the next thing we're going to go into is a 1 hour time frame. So pretty much breaking down the same thing and trying to see where the demand is at now within the hour. So let's see here, 13.3 ETH volume traded by Astro Armadillos. So it's actually pretty decent. It's actually showing us almost some of the most in the hour. But notice what pops up again. 50 years of Atari actually pops up again. So we know that this is one that we definitely want to keep an eye on today. And obviously within the hour, because here it does have double-digit ETH volume traded. So Subjects also has double-digit ETH. Let's see what else we got. Stoics with 11 ETH volume traded. Let's go into a smaller time frame to kind of narrow it down just a bit more. So AK Ultra with 7 ETH volume traded, and Astro Armadillo's popping up again, and we also have Atari popping up again. Okay, so I think we kind of have our 3 that we're kind of eyeing for the smaller time frame that we're actually in. So let's actually look at a smaller time frame, like a 5 minutes. And it's pretty much going to show us the same thing with our AK Ultra, Astro Armadillos, and our Atari play. So I actually do have a question of it. How are ranks color coded? So I'm assuming that's meaning when we actually go into the project. So let's actually go into 50 years of Atari. This is going to be one that I definitely want to take a look at over time. Are these unrevealed? Yeah, they are unrevealed. Darn it. Let's go to something that's actually revealed. Are these revealed? Nope. Which is the column the trends are sorted on? Lec 10. Which is the column the trades are sorted? So whenever you're filtering by any of the time frames, it's actually going to filter automatically by sales. So yeah, anything with the most sales on any of the time frames that you're going within, you're going to see that pop up first. I guess one of the cool things that you can also see that I can break down here, whenever you're going throughout the time frames, so let's say 24-hour, notice this little icon next to sales. You're going to have either a red triangle piece or you're going to have a green triangle piece. And what that's going to indicate is the amount of sales within that time frame, if that's either positive or negative from the last time frame that you're looking at. So it's saying right here, within the last 24 hours, sales are positive. They're net positive from what they were the last 24 hours. But if this was red, this would indicate that there are less sales happening within the last 24 hours. And you can, again, keep doing that across the multiple time frames. So notice that it actually changes to red down here. So it's saying within the 1 hour time frame that there are less sales happening within the last hour that it was actually calculating. So it's actually giving us a nice breakdown here, letting us know how the momentum is actually shifting within sales. So pretty quick indication letting us know, hey, within the last 30 minutes, are we up on sales or are we down on sales? So nice little breakdown for people to utilize if we don't utilize that as of yet. Another thing that lots of people have questions on are the color coding of our unique holder and listed portions. So what we're actually looking for here is our listing percentage. What we actually have, it's going to be about 5% and under. We're going to see actually purple be our actual indicator here. So you can see under 5% listed, it's actually going to give us that metric right there. Anything above that, going up until I believe it's 15%, you're going to see blue color codings. Notice that this actually goes from 6 to about 12%. And anything above that, you're going to start getting the gray listings. And this is just a quick color code breakdown saying, hey, are our walls very thin to get through, or are there tons of listings that we kind of have to get through? And the gray color coding is going to give us that indicator saying, hey, yeah, there's tons of listings. Let's kind of wait till we get something a little lower so that our walls are a little thinner. And when you go to your left-hand side, you're actually going to have unique holders. And unique holders is actually going to be a great breakdown for seeing, again, how thin our walls are going to be. If there's plenty unique holders, we're definitely going to want to see higher color coats, meaning something like a green color coat, where our unique holders are pushing about 70%. Anything over that, we're actually going to see a green indication. Holding over 50% of unique holders is actually going to show us the orange breakdown as well. And anything kind of below that is going to give us our gray indication, which is again saying that our walls are going to be a little thicker to get through because there are more people who likely hold more of the actual NFT. So that's a quick breakdown on the color coding of the actual trending page. So tap spacebar is revealed. Okay. Let's go with this AK Ultra thing. It says tons of sales going on right now. Okay. Looks like we're bugged. They're not getting data here. All right. One thing I do want to point out here regarding what I was talking about earlier, getting through thicker walls. Notice this metric here, our cell walls down here. Notice what color we see most of kind of popping up a ton. Lots of purple, right? This goes exactly to what I was saying of potentially getting through thicker walls, because what this purple indicator is saying, this purple color code is saying that these people who are selling at these points have 10 plus tokens that they're actually holding on to. So ideally it's a lot harder to get through these sell walls if there's so many people with the same idea to potentially de-risk at that point. Not saying that it can't continue to push to the upside, but there are a few things that you kind of need to happen here. Ideally, you want sales to be rising over time. You want listings to be going down, which listings chart is right here. You want listings to be going down. This is good. We want our volume to start rising, but we also want our walls to start going away. Notice we have volume coming in, but listings are still staying consistent. We're actually not moving on our listings right now. We're just at about 88 listings. So this is a very key number to kind of look at if anybody's either in this trade or looking to get into something like this. This is a very key number that you're going to want to look at because, again, we do know the actual supply. Again, I don't know if this is fully minted or not, but this is 10% of total supply listings, which is something we always talk about. This is a number we definitely want to keep an eye on. But if this starts to rise over time, and the demand does not stay consistent and coming in, it's likely just to come back and retrace down. But we're seeing right now volume's actually coming in as we speak, and notice there's less purples actually coming in, so it's kind of a good sign that we're seeing here. Another thing to definitely take a look at is if anybody's actually using the trading view portion, I would definitely be drawing trend lines right here, guys. Again, this is not random price action that happens here. This is not random. Notice again, a simple trend line could have gave us a very solid look at where the volume could potentially come in. Again, our trend line is just giving us a point where there's potential risk mitigation right here, because really, what's your risk if you're a buyer of the NFT right here? If you're risking 0.01 to make the last high potentially, again, if you can get volume to start coming in and listings starting to go down, there's not much risk that's kind of happening here at this point. So you can see why that ideal volume happened to come in. Again, it's predicting volume and when it's going to come in is very difficult to do, but seeing the points where they can actually come into is not that difficult to do. It's very simple to do with simple trend lines. This is why I'm honing in on such a simple concept for the people who've been here for a while. This simple trend line could have gave you pretty much 100% move of what you just made. So let's say you bought 10 down here at 0.1 and you could have sold some up here at 0.02. That's 100% move. Again, the dollar amount, that's really not what we're looking at. We're looking at the percentage gain. Just imagine if this was a decimal place move to the right. If this was 0.1 to 0.2 and you had 10 of them, that's a whole ETH you could have made. Again, it's the same concept. It's the same percentage gain that we're actually looking for. But again, doing this over and over and over again is going to help us see these kind of patterns happen over and over and over again and start to see how they actually develop in conjunction with getting the statistics to line up with what we're actually trying to do. Low-key mad. Are there 50 pending transactions or the ones showing on the trending tab? Usually when that's actually happening, there are lots of buys that are happening on that usually we can't see down here. I've actually talked to the team about potentially having that total transactions somewhere kind of posted here so that we truly know how many transactions are kind of happening at the same time. I think that would be something very useful, because some people, they'll be buying the floors, but you'll be surprised by some buys that are actually happening all the way down here at times. And it could be some people just buying off of different marketplaces and not having tools. I mean, look, you're gonna have 0.03 sell up here. A few different metrics that can kind of mess around with that. Lect 10. Which configuration you have in TradingView? I do a custom set, I guess. So I like to just set things up myself. So I change the color of the bodies and the candlesticks. If you don't like the stuff on top, you can take all that stuff off. It's pretty much, you just have to go through there and kind of pick out what you like. You can kind of turn these on. You can change colors of the background if you'd like. I mean, it's kind of all up to how people prefer their setup. But I'd really take a few minutes out your day if nobody's messing around with the settings with TradingView. It's a very useful tool that I would spend some time with to utilize, because it's very powerful. Vix, good point. I've always wondered that too. Yeah. If I write my own code for TradingView, I'll get it saved, right? That's a good question. I have to get back to you on that about writing the own code, because I think you'd have to have your own TradingView account, but I'm not sure if we can actually connect that as of yet. But I do have to get back to you on that one, Viv, because that would be really awesome if you can import some of the indicators that we utilize for if you actually have a TradingView account. That would be pretty awesome. So I will definitely get back to you on that. Low-key mid. So which marketplaces aren't showing up on AS? The main ones should be showing up on Alpha Sharks. So OpenSea looks rare. X2Y2. There were, I could be wrong on this, but there were some things I was seeing where there were pseudo swap transactions that were going through. I was seeing somebody had an update of some sort of to see those transactions as well. So I believe if that's not out yet, we'll be getting that very soon. Will a token show up as flagged from OS similar to nerds? Yeah, so if you go into, let's say, let's see if you can find one. No. If you do happen to get one, it actually would pop up and it would let you know that it's actually flagged on that site. I don't see one. But yes, before you do buy, we'll give you indication that the NFT is actually flagged. So yes, low-key mad. That might be with the pending discrepancies. Yeah. Yeah, we're working on, again, trying to make this a little more snappy as well. With people starting to utilize different marketplaces, and yeah, just seeing the demand come in from different places is pretty cool, and tracking it is always fun. So yeah, let's see, we're actually getting the volume decrease here. Listings are actually staying down though, so it's actually really interesting to see right now. Active. Is it possible to add multiple burner wallets so one can view rarity? Is it possible to add multiple burner wallets so one can view rarity? Why would you need multiple burners so you can view rarity? I'm not sure if I'm understanding that one, Active. If you're asking if you can input another wallet, you're able to do that with the tools wallet. So let's say you don't, let's say you have like a ledger you want to keep your shark in, you can toss it in there, and then your tools wallet could be the burner wallet that you can input to utilize the Alpha Shark. So you can snipe and do all that as well. Hoping that was the question. Ebbit. Yes, Nonchalant dropped that picture. Appreciate that, Nonchalant. Yes, so that picture does show you the suspicious activity. It'll pop up there before you do start buying, so there you go. All right. Is anybody actually inside AK Ultra? I want to kind of ask that question. Tap. Do you mean you want to see all your NFTs from multiple wallets in one window? Oh, so kind of like a wallet tracker kind of thing? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Lek, you're in. How many do you have, Lek? And what's your entry, if you don't mind me asking? Tell me when I should say. No, I do not give financial advice, man. We help break down the stats, and then hopefully you can make an educated decision on what you can do there. But ideally, this number here is something I'd be looking at, and right here too. This number has doubled since we've started looking at it, so I would keep a very close eye on this number, because what that MBCP is telling us right now is if we've doubled within the last, I believe it was 5 minutes, not even that, it was probably about 10 minutes. This was sitting at about 1.4. If I could be mistaken on that. It was sitting under 2 though, I do know that. This is a very key number to look at. Viv, great question. What does MBCP stand for? It's going to stand for next blue chip probability. And that number is very key to us because it's going to indicate projects that already blue chips, considered blue chips in the space. And we're actually having a metric for them where we take into account that project plus how many they're holding per wallet, and then throw a mean average between all the projects that are within this project that are considered blue chips. So ideally, the higher the number, the more blue chips that are in this actual project, thus meaning more potential, a higher probability to have more eyes and to have more demand come into this if there is a sporadic type of catalyst event per se. So the higher the number, the bigger the audience that we're kind of playing with at that point. So this is definitely something we definitely want to keep an eye on. I say pushing this around 5-7%. When you start getting to 10% MBCP, this is definitely something you have to keep an eye on, because when you start pushing that 7 to 10%, you start getting into swing territory, meaning this is not only it could be a total degen play that can turn into something like a Goblins. Goblins did the exact same thing, went from a 0 NBCP all the way to about a 20% NBCP within about 3-4 days, and we can see where that ended up going. Rare Pepe is one of the recent ones too, pretty much did the exact same thing. So we kind of see this happen over and over and over again. So this is a definite key number to watch out for. And another thing I'd be doing now, if you did happen to get in near a low, just be drawing a trend line now. And again, seeing if this is actually going to come down, and then see, are we going to get buyers to come in again? Do buyers really want this, or are our listings going to start shooting up, and our sellers going to want to start getting out? But notice what happened to all our pink bars. They're all kind of gone now. So that's kind of indicating most people with 10 plus tokens actually end up probably getting out near this pop, which kind of makes sense on why we're starting to retrace a little bit. So now this is going to be a very key level to see, are we going to hold that actual trend line? Notice our listings are actually starting to rise. But are we going to have the demand start to come in and our listings come down? This is a very key point for us to see what's actually going to happen here. Let's see. I like your setting for trading view. Can you share it, by the way? Yeah. I just changed the background to black. And I changed the color of the candlesticks to red and green. I think it's colored like a different green in here. I just changed it to the top one. That's pretty much all I do. And then I changed the volume colored candlesticks to blue and yellow. That's just personal preference. They're usually red and green at that point. Edit. Can you explain why / how seeing delistings on the right hand side is useful, or how we should be using the metric? Yeah, for sure. So right here, you're asking how to use delistings and how that would be kind of a useful metric. So right here it would actually be a very useful metric here, because notice right here, if we actually were anticipating the pullback, right? Let's say we've seen our volume starting to decrease over time, and we knew that we had sell walls or we had people with 10 plus tokens that were likely going to sell the top of this. So we kind of anticipated the pullback, right? And again, what we were saying, that we're going to attempt to hold trend right here. And one of the main things, if this marketing team, or if there was a marketing team behind this, this would be a very key area for us to be looking at. Um, One person, if let's say the team happened to drop, let's say our NBCP got up to about 5%, and let's say all of a sudden AK Ultra happens to say uh, we're collaborating with VFriends or something sporadic. Again, we're saying something sporadic like just a chaotic news source or event catalyst that we're talking about. You would see 1 hour cancels and amount of delistings start to rise insanely. And one thing that we would want to kind of pick that up, why we'd want to pick that up is because again, that's directly correlated to our amount of listings, which again is directly correlated to our supply. And if our listings are actually decreasing and we have an influx of demand coming in, that's a double whammy to give us the go ahead for continuation to the upside. Because again, we have not only one factor, not only demand coming in, but we have people who don't want to release or don't want to get rid of the NFT anymore. So basically taking out supply, taking out total circulation of the supply, which is something that we definitely want to be looking at. And if we started to see, let's say, like this right here, where we have two of the highlighted portions, this is saying that they've delisted. If we start to see floods of delisting starting to come in, and we're in this trade, and we're starting to see our volume increase over time, that should be telling us something is up. There's some type of there's a reason for people to be delisting at masses, and there should be reason for volume to be rising as well. So that can give you a key indication of seeing, hey, is there something going on fundamentally with the project that we're kind of in or looking at that point. At least that's one of the ways I like to use that. Like 10, you can see mine listed. Yeah, nice. There you go, man. Yeah, this has been a nice little breakdown. Alright, let's go to trending. Let's see if we got anything else going on. Let's go to 5 minute. Did anything ever happen with the Atari? What happened to those? Right here, 0.32 floor. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to go over this one before we kind of wrap things up. This one I'm looking at for somewhat of a longer term swing. Again, I have no idea of the fundamentals behind the 50 Years of Atari project, but just knowing the name, I guess, and just looking at the stats that we're kind of looking at, let's do just a quick breakdown. One thing we like to look at again is owner supply ratio. Again, this is pushing, my math is bad right now, it's at least 80%. Owner supply ratio, that's definitely something we want to keep an eye on. NBCP, remember that number we were talking about earlier. NBCP is at 8.35%, and it looks, from what I'm looking at, this project was released a few hours ago. And to have 8 point something percent NBCP is definitely something to keep an eye on, because again, you're pushing that 7 to 10% range, which is starting to get into that swing territory. Which again, this is something to definitely keep an eye on over time if you're looking to look look at something to swing over time, you definitely want this number to be rising. Other thing I'm looking at here is amount of listings. This is about 20%, about 20% listed. So we want to see that go down just a bit over time. So I'd be looking for some type of news catalyst for Atari, 50 years of Atari here, because if they can get listings to go down, get MBCP to rise, and get unique holders to rise as well, you're doing one simple thing here, which is holding trend. Again, remember going back to the trend lines that we talked about. Atari's just holding trend as of right now. Could come back, retrace the 0.3, but if we start to see again making higher lows, notice this low was bought up, this low was bought up. If we start to retrace and this next low isn't as low as this low, we can definitely start to see Atari rise over time. And it would be really smart of them, or at least their marketing team, to drop something around that zone, such as some type of catalyst of some sort to break all-time highs, which would be very key. So I just wanted to break that down for some people to kind of look at, because again, notice we're looking at the percent gains, we're not looking at the amount, I guess, traded. Because again, if we can do this over and over and over again and put ourselves in the best situation to win with least amount of risk put on, that's the name of the game. It's ideally really what we're trying to do. So let me see. All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. If you guys have any questions, do not be afraid to drop them in the chat. Yeah, go ahead. So the Norman count function is gonna pretty much mess with the rarity algorithm that calculates pretty much the rank rarity. So the count function is going to give you the algo for the per count on the rarity function. So if you happen to change that on something that's already revealed, let's see if we can find something. Is this already revealed? Okay. So if we look at something like this, notice if I change the count, it's actually going to change the actual rank for that project itself, because it's not considering or taking into consideration that algorithm at that point. But the default usually is just to leave them on. There are a handful of projects that we hardly ever change these functions for. But yeah, if you're starting to see like different rarities throughout different projects or different, I guess, platforms, it's because there's no standard for rarity calculations, and that's why we kind of have different algorithms to kind of mess around with to get different rarities for projects that utilize different rarity ranking systems. Hope that answered your question. Edit. Why is OS API yellow in the top right? That's a great question. We do have a breakdown sheet for that. Let me actually try to pull that up. Nonchalant, I don't know if you're still here. If you have that link and you could drop that, that would be awesome. But Yes, we will drop that link, and it will give you the whole breakdown for figuring out the whole color codes of the Sharks API, the OS API. But I do think that this is meaning that OS API is somewhat down for now. So be careful with trying to buy anything officially through here. Are there any more questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. I guess I'm gonna start wrapping it up. But yeah, that is going to be the session breakdown, the overview for today. But we do have one more question actually. MD Junior, what's up, guys? View down. Every time I try to buy, it says that it's initiated successfully, but then MetaMask doesn't pop up to confirm purchase. If you're having issues right now, it might be because the OS API is down. Other than that, you might have to be opening a ticket. We'll be getting back to you on that for sure. Tap, a session focused on review, a session focused only on TradingView. Dang. That would be awesome. If you guys want me to go over that, I definitely can. It's just a huge rabbit hole to go down, and I kind of want to get people to understand the whole view before we start diving really deep into TradingView, because TradingView is immaculate, to say the least, for sure. But we'll definitely, I'll throw some, for the next session, the US session, we'll go a little deeper into some indicators I like to utilize for TradingView. I think that will help you guys out a bit. Lec 10 bought with AS. Okay, so yeah, you should be good then to buy through Alpha Sharks. But again, looks like OS API might be misfunctioning a bit. Evan, how often do you have these sessions? We do have them twice a week. We have them once on Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, and we do host them Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. And we are starting to do them cross-platform. So ideally, we're trying to extend and branch ourselves out to other quality discords who will be offering us some type of utility of some sort to help the marketing and the branding of Alpha Sharks, and to get some more reviews of people utilizing the platform. So if any of you guys have any suggestions, concerns, comments about the UI, how anything's ran, any statistics you have questions on, anything you'd like to see implemented, this is definitely the place you want to be dropping those suggestions. So we, as a team, go over these sessions and try to implement the most useful and most efficient ideas, and try to get them out to you guys as soon as possible, and try to refine that process again. So going live with you guys, utilizing it, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, passing that to the team, having them implement it, and doing it all over again. So again, appreciate you guys coming out here. I know there's lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces as well. But yeah, these sessions are not possible without you guys coming down. We, again, cannot continue to do these without you guys coming down and spending the time here. So really appreciate you guys. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this week. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys can tag me, tweet me, DM me. My DMs are always open. I'll definitely do my best to get right back to you. We'll be doing the giveaway today. If you guys can do one of the following, let me get the Twitters out real quick. If you guys can do me a solid to enter the raffle giveaway today, if you guys can tweet out to myself and the Alpha Sharks team plus one giveaway or one takeaway from the session itself, that would be awesome. And you guys will be entered into a giveaway to win, I believe it's a boost and some nitros as well. So just drop that in the Educator chat. Viv, if you tweeted earlier, yes, as long as you tagged myself and Alpha Sharks, you should be solid. But let me read if there's any more questions. Non-eligible. Still waiting for listings and sales column to be next to each other on the left. Yeah, we have something really interesting that's going to be coming out soon for those who are still here. So stay tuned for a very, I would say, unique update that should be coming again very soon. Don't have a timeline on that, but it should be very interesting and a lot more in depth. So I think you guys are gonna kind of like that. But yeah, don't forget to tweet to enter the giveaway and to tweet one takeaway you guys had from the session, and you guys will be entered right into that giveaway. Alrighty, thanks. Excited for the update soon. 7 days, 30 days. I somewhere in between there, I'm hoping. But again, no, I have no timeline on that. But it's worth the wait. I can tell you that. But yeah, I will gonna wrap this session up. Again, appreciate you guys coming down, and don't forget to tweet those out to enter the giveaway. And again, if you guys like these sessions, we do these twice a week, Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern and Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. So you guys do end up liking these, we'll catch you guys next week. But you guys stay safe, and may your guys' bags be pumped. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.